Hello, and welcome to a presentation on the State Rehabilitation Councils and the Parent Center's role. This is a presentation by the Real Transition Partners. So who are we? We are a group of parent training and information centers that were awarded a grant under the Rehabilitation Service Administration. So this is a collaboration between all of the 26 Region A parent centers, and it is jointly managed by 3 parent centers: the Federation for Children with Special Needs, New York State Transition Partners, which include New York, the Parent Network of Western New York and Starbridge, and SPAN, the Parent Advocacy Network Parent Center from New Jersey. So welcome. Just a little history about rehabilitation. This comes under Section 105 of the Rehab Act of 1973. That act required consumers, advocates, and other representatives of individuals with disabilities to really participate in the administration and oversight of the state's vocational rehabilitation program. And this was a mandate for all states in the United States. In the early days, it was consumer controlled and came under a state rehabilitation advisory council. And that's also when the state independent living centers were established. In 1998, the public vocational rehabilitation program became part of the Workforce Investment Act, and the advisory councils were changed to state rehabilitation councils. So at this time, the role of these councils also changed. It went from being merely advisory to having individuals be more involved and engaged in developing policies, planning activities, being an essential element of these councils, evaluating a program effectiveness, and carrying out other functions, all related to vocational rehab in the state. It's now in the law, the Code of Federal Regulations, that councils must include the following requirements, so that their membership must include at least one representative of the Parent Training and Information Center, which are established under federal laws, and every state has at least one Parent Training and Information Center. This council should also include consumers and individuals with disabilities. So it includes representatives of disability groups and also current or former recipients of vocational rehab services, so that it's fully informed by those they should be serving. What do these councils do? They review, analyze, and advise the state agency. They work in partnership with the state agency to develop and review the state goals and priorities that are set. They assist in preparation of the state plan, and also serve to review the effectiveness and consumer satisfaction with VR services. This council also prepares annual reports to the state. Depending on the state, it might be sent to the governor or the commissioner of the State Rehabilitation Commission. They also should be coordinating with all of the activities of other councils within the state, especially disability-related councils. And they're developing relationships between the state agencies and the state independent living centers. So they have a vital and important role. If you're interested in serving on your state rehabilitation council, every state has a separate process, and you just need to find out what that process is. Often it includes an application, sometimes supporting documentation, and once you're approved, there's usually formal appointment by the governor, so that there is a formal process. I've listed an example here of some of the items that would be part of that. So maybe your resume, any supporting documentation of your experience. A letter of interest is often appropriate to advise the governing council as to your interest in serving on the council. If you're representing a group or an organization, a recommendation from that organization would also be helpful. Once the agency has reviewed your credentials and you meet the requirements of this specified by your local state statute, you may receive confirmation, and then you would have to go through that formal appointment by the governor. And this might take several months due to the busy nature of state government. So while you're waiting, you should be advised that all meetings of your state rehabilitation council are open to the public, and you can attend as a guest. Often they meet several times a year, quarterly meetings, which would mean 4 different meetings each year. You should be able to find notice of when those meetings occur on your state vocational rehab council website, information about when and where they meet. They may be meeting virtually or in person, and you need to find that out so that you're informed as to how to attend. You can follow the conversation, get to know the members, and see what the business of the state council is by reviewing the agendas. Being an advisor on a council or any group is an important process and an important role to play. It is actually a formal requirement of the parent centers that received the Federal Rehabilitation Services Administration grant that these parent centers attend meetings within their own state of not only the rehab councils, but the independent living center councils and the state education advisory councils. And you can see in our grant requirements that those 2 sections of Region A in the United States have a lot of meetings that they're required to attend and represent the interests of individuals with disabilities. For anyone whose first time is attending a group as an advisory member, I recommend this free online curriculum. It's a guidebook called Serving on Groups. It's available in both English and Spanish at the link below there. And I find it's a very easy to follow comprehensive guide so that you can become a member of one of these advisory groups. The parent and training information centers are also required to attend other state boards. I had the option to attend other state boards, and those might be with your local state Department of Developmental Services, the Higher Education Board, Department of Public Health, commissions for the blind or deaf and hard of hearing, and your state Board of Education. Each one of these boards reviews matters that pertain to individuals with disabilities, and it's important to have the parent voice at the table. So if you have any questions, I suggest that you contact your local state Parent Training and Information Center to see how to get involved, how they are involved, and whether they can advise you on matters that are going before your state rehabilitation council boards. In Region A, we have 2 representatives representing the following states, and feel free to email them with any questions that you might have. So thank you for joining us today, and I hope you learned a little bit about how your local state rehabilitation council operates. Thank you.